It's a girl, like a woman that asked Joe Rogan, like, "Hey, what do women don't understand about men?" And he mentions him like headaches festival XYZ in 2015, and then there's a video of the drop, and you're like, "Holy fucking shit!" How did you start with electronic music? What was the beginning?
The very beginning. Alright, so I was a big punk and metal head for around 4 years, or 5 years maybe, between like the age of like 12 until around 16. And basically, it was just through my friends. So all my friends kind of got into dubstep, and Bristol was such a big hub for dubstep, especially we talked about this the other day, especially the kind of deeper side of dubstep. And to be honest, when I first listened to it, I didn't like it. I was like, this is, like, what's electronic music? Where's the guitars?
It's like the first beer.
Yeah, exactly. And then I just got a bit more immersed in it. Like, we started doing, like, so I think some friends bought some decks, started messing around with playing vinyl, and I always thought the vinyl aspect was really cool, because it's kind of it's like an instrument well, that was my sort of view on it, it's more of an instrument. Yeah, and then just through hanging out with my friends at the time, we just got more immersed in it and just started getting hooked on it. Wasn't really just being exposed to it more and more. And then obviously when you step foot in a club for the first time and hear it on a sound system, you're like, okay.
Now I understand.
Now I'm getting it a bit more. And the sound system culture in Bristol was really, really good at the time. Well, it still is actually, but...
Did it change?
Yeah, I mean, nowadays I have to be brutally honest, I'm quite disconnected from it.
Okay.
So I couldn't really tell you what's really going on in the city now. But at the time when I was getting into electronic music and getting more deeper and deeper and deeper into it, it was very community driven. And I'm pretty sure it still is. I'm pretty sure it's got that at the root, but it's probably changed in terms of, like, the city's been gentrified a lot. So I think maybe it's been pushed out a little bit more. That's my guess as to impression as to what's happened here. There was a really famous street, there still is a very famous street in Bristol called Stapleton Road. And it used to be a very dangerous street where a lot of there was some sort of gang activity and stuff.
Oh shit, okay.
But at the same time, there was this big sort of culture. There's actually a big, like, an area of Bristol where there was a lot of music culture. And there's this carnival that happens every year called St. Paul's Carnival, and St. Paul's is the area where the road is.
You put it on like that, it's perfect.
Yeah. And this street, or this area, like once a year, basically there's this big carnival where sound systems are just put up in the middle of the road and people are just like blasting out tunes, selling music, selling food, everyone's out and about on the streets. And this was super cool, and I think this still happens. I'm pretty sure the carnival still happens every year. So I guess they've kept some good traditions, I guess. But now, actually, the point I was trying to make, actually, is that the road has actually become a point where they've built a lot of expensive flats and, the area changed.
As in many cities.
Yeah, including here.
Yeah.
But yeah, it happens everywhere,
That wasn't.
So I left for Berlin. I left Bristol in 2017. But I mean, I grew up there, so I was there since I was 3 or 4 years old until 7 years ago. So when I was 22, 23 when I left. So I was almost there for 20 years. It's about 18 years or so that I was there. But I didn't really go to, clubs and like the carnival and stuff until I was maybe around sort of 16, 17 when I started getting more involved into other music other than metal and punk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There is, I've always been fascinated by the UK music culture, let it be punk music, hardcore, or even like rock music, and then all the electronic stuff, because like in Switzerland we didn't have anything of that, and I was kind of alone digging the whole time, not really having people to share it with. And now you're in Berlin and you have literally people from all around the world explaining their stories about how it was for them to live there and like to experience this. And not later than yesterday I had Leo Kleuser, who sent me this documentary about, I don't know if you know him, DJ Mehdi.
DJ Mehdi?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard of, I'm not very
There's an
familiar, but...
excellent documentary on Arte about it. And I was like, hey man, watch it if you didn't watch it already. And I was like, I did it already. And he told me I was there. And
Leo was there.
Leo, yeah. And like when he says like, hey, fuck yeah, that was the time where, because like he's from the French suburb, like the Parisian suburbs.
Yeah.
And like he was there, and like he saw all these incredible rappers and musicians, and because like DJ Mehdi started like first in the hip hop scene, like the instrumentalists by sampling music like from North Africa, blues, jazz, like all these kind of things, and then he switched to electronic music.
Okay.
With the whole Ed Banger crew, etc. Like he put Ed Banger together with Pedro Winter.
Right.
And like it's crazy when you have the discussion with the people who were there in this case, and then you ask for the personal stories that are behind that. Same story than what we were explaining before with Shall Not Fade and Molgram.
Yeah.
And your buddy Kieran. I mean that's it. And like for me it was like so far away. Like especially being a teenager and like at the very beginning of my 20s, and like being alone with this passion, and like now to hear that these insights, super precious.
So like in Switzerland, so where in Switzerland were you growing up?
It's called Sion. So Sion is a beautiful small town in the middle of the mountains. So literally, it's like Switzerland as you can imagine, like super clean, beautiful mountains, beautiful weather, but club-wise, boring as fuck.
Yeah, I was going to ask, like, did you have any access to clubs or even music, or even just live music venues there?
Very few. So there is excellent festivals. One of them we could go and do a few episodes, like shoot a few episodes this summer, the Paleo Festival.
Yeah.
We had Paul Kalkbrenner, Molly Collins and Cara.
Nice.
But like besides that, like on a regular basis, it was always very tough. So you need to know the people, and then when you're a student, you're broke, and like you need to go. It costs us a lot of money, like back in the days to go to certain places, and then you don't have the proper public transport, so you have to someone with a car, and
yeah.
The drinks were expensive and all that things. Then I moved to Berlin, where you could literally do everything, and then we created a scene. So there was already a few people doing things, few clubs, a few friends like that had collectives, and but it was not really something going on like on a regular basis, and like we kind of like elaborated. I continued what friends started, and then developed a collective called Berlin Station, and this went through the roof like in a very small amount of time.
Okay.
We literally transformed a club in the mountain in a club. We put I could open the door. We're at 1,800 meters in the mountain, so you open the door and you see the fucking Servan, like the mountain from the Toblerone chocolate.
Wow.
So like you had this beautiful view, but when you came into the club, you had like techno playing. It was super nice. That's how we started.
That's amazing.
That was after my friends came to visit me during my first internship in Berlin in 2015.
Okay.
It was like, hey, we need to do that in Switzerland as well to bring this to our friends, and then we did.
So Berlin really inspired you to do it.
100%.
And then you went back, did it, and it was actually a really big success.
I mean, I stayed in Berlin, but like I went there for every party, which was like once a month.
Yeah.
So my beginning of my Berliner time was quite intense, like taking the planes back and forth.
I imagine, yeah.
I'm sorry for the climate. And yeah, that's how it started. And then I just like never stopped because like I always dig different genres of music, and this has a huge impact on what I'm doing with the podcast nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely good, and I think there was actually a time where, and maybe this came from a confidence issue that I had, but there was a time where there was a few years where I was almost a little bit like. I wouldn't say embarrassed, but maybe that is the best word to describe it, of like where I kind of came from, or like my musical background. But that was because I was living in a city which didn't have as much, I mean, Bristol does have a lot of diversity, but it doesn't have as much as, say, a city like Berlin. And you've got people who are like, you know, they're really into like this style of music and that's all they do, which I think is really cool. But then when you come to Berlin and start speaking to people and you realize that, you know, every DJ actually comes from a really different background of music, whether that be electronic or not, you know. And I think it's super interesting. That's what makes actually DJs and producers very unique. Or even not just DJs and producers, just like you as well, you know, like anyone, just makes someone's journey very unique through the music that they listen to.
The quality of the scene in general is so good because everyone's so different and it has a story.
Yeah. Because if we were just all had the same story, just all into techno for the same reason or whatever genre it is, it would just be boring as shit.
100%. 100%.
So how long did you do techno parties in Switzerland for then?
4 years.
Like,
and 4.5, and then I left the collective because I wanted to focus on my own project, because we had long discussions about the direction of the project that it has to take, and I was like, hey, I see a potential to go professional because we're working already on a semi-professional way, like with big agencies, and during good parties. We even came to Berlin to do a few showcases, like 3-4 times at Humboldt-Time, Void Club,
cool.
This kind of venues, and went to Czech Republic also, to Poland, so that was really, really nice. And at the end, like, my friends were more like, hey, we're gonna keep it as a hobby, which frustrated me a lot, to be honest. And I was like, okay, so I'm stepping out.
So you wanted to go further with it, but then the others didn't, okay.
And which I completely respect. At the time we just had a few, we argued, let's call it as it was.
Yeah.
And then I decided to, that was also the time when I first started to the 2. It was in 2020, so put my portfolio together, put all my energy and focus on that, and then I was missing it somehow because I was going out, I'm still going out regularly and meeting people, etc. And I was like, hey, there is something to do with it. And that's how I came up with the idea of the podcast, because I'm tattooing anyway people from the scene. I mean, you're sitting here, you know?
Yeah.
And that's how I came up with that. And I don't want it to become a promoter again, because there's people who do a marvelous job with that, and I wanted to create my own thing working with them. And like, I really digged about, okay, what are my unfair advantages?
Yeah.
And that was one of them, is like to know a lot of people, and like to this community feeling of like bringing these beautiful people together to create a very nice community, and like to do something solid, especially during and after Corona, where everyone had a lot to say, and still have a lot to say, and with the explosion of social media.
Yeah.
And that nowadays you really have to, like, I was pissed off seeing like so much trash online. And I wanted to give more quality content with what I see as the right people. By right people, I mean with the people I would love to hear more about them and their opinion. And since I was sure that these things would interest other people as well, we started the project with close friends.
Yeah. I mean, look where it's taken you as well. It's really grown.
And you followed the project since day one.
Yeah. I know. I remember when you started it, and you had to see what you've... And I really like that you've not just selected the kind of Berlin techno scene, you've gone outside of that as well. Because it's also important. It's really important to get views from
100%.
stories from everyone linked to that scene in some way.
But that's sorry, please.
No, that's what I was basically saying. It's just important to get the views from everyone in and around the scene, and not just specializing straight down the middle, you know.
And that's what makes the scene so rich at the end. Is like we really got many different people on a dance floor. Let it be dentists, doctors, lawyers, porn actors.
We were speaking about lawyers the other day, right?
Yeah. Like really, like I met all my friends on the dance floor.
Yeah.
And people from all around the world.
And I can say the same in Berlin, really. I mean, I knew people before I moved here. I knew a few people. Like Anel and Tina were some people I knew already before, but not very well, in all fairness. Like, I played a DJ gig with Ammo in London once, and we stayed in touch. I think I might have I don't think I'd met Tina, but I think with Anil I'd seen him one more, so I'd only met him twice, I think, before I moved to Berlin, but I knew he was here. And there were some other friends that I knew, but only a little bit. And so coming here, all those 7 years ago, I also met everyone through either on the dance floor or at the dance floor's bar.
That's how we met. That's how we met. Yeah, and then you exchange, and I think this is a very smart approach and good way of putting everything that's discussed on there, like an official platform, high quality platform where you can help people out, and like where you know, okay, if I'm gonna watch a video on there, it's gonna be good and I'm gonna learn something, especially for the people that are not living in big cities. And that was also one of the reasons that motivated me, is like to educate the people somehow, because like in my hometown, since like Switzerland is a very privileged country, but like in matters of diversity, etc., it's still they got a really, really long way to go. So I was like, hey, maybe this is a way also like to help people out and just do open discussions, not necessarily having this discussion and like confronting walls, because like they were not really open about it.
Okay.
I'm only talking about my experiences. I'm not saying that everyone's like that on there.
No, you can only come from your own experience from there, you know?
But where I'm from, it's quite conservative, and no one can say that the other way.
I mean, my country is where I'm from is very conservative these days. And I mean, Bristol's not at all, to be fair. Bristol is a very liberal. People actually dub it as the Berlin of the UK. I mean, it's very, very different to Berlin, but in terms of people, it's got a very, very diverse selection of people and backgrounds and stuff, Bristol, which is what makes it actually a very special place. But the rest of the country, yeah, for sure. I mean, you go 1 hour outside of Bristol and you're in basically a very, very conservative part of the country. I don't think I've never actually been to Switzerland, to be honest.
I can recommend. Honestly, it's a good experience, and like when you get introduced to the right people by the right people, you really, it's like family. You really have a blast. Like really, when I saw something really, really positive that I got out of this journey as a promoter there is like, also especially from the artists, is that how welcoming we were, my friends and the team, because everyone was really leaving with a proper smile, and like we even had like one DJ that said it was his very best gig ever.
Which club? Wait, was it just the place where you were?
Yeah. But that was years ago when I was still doing the parties. It was in 2017.
Okay.
So that was one of on the peak time of when we were doing that. But yeah, that was really cool to hear. Also, like, you know, we're young, beginning of our 20s, and like doing stuff, and like, you know, like when you're from the village, literally like small town, but like if you compare it to other places, it's a village.
Yeah.
And then you gotta hang out with big names of the scene, and got cool stuff, and that motivated me to go bigger, like to do.
And what? Sorry, Karen.
Oh, good.
No, I was going to say, what are some of the DJs that you brought over there? Were they established, or was it more?
everything. So it went from beginner newcomers to people who already stopped. We had Subjected, Cleric, Introversion.
Oh, nice.
Just before this whole R label hype, we had Parallax and Cobozil. That was the last party I had. That was literally 2018, just before this whole hype with the R label exploded.
Yeah.
So before it was still at Decka and then there was not all the hate against him.
Yeah.
That was an incredible night. So I'm happy I could end on this one.
Yeah, that's good. And were you doing them a few times a year, or was it every month?
So in the beginning it was once a month.
Once a month?
Yeah, so it was incredible. And different places, different clubs. Then you had a kind of like summer break, so it was great.
Oh, that's wicked.
And so that was once a month at the beginning. After quite a while, and it was nice. It was really like having a good time with friends, etc. But my problem is like I work a lot, and I expected many people to do the same, and it was too much.
I mean, it's difficult running an event. I mean, with my friend Kieran, who I mentioned earlier, we ran nights also every month. In all fairness, we only did it in one club. And I think we did it for more than a year. Can't remember exactly how long we did it, but we were doing it every month for around a year. But before then, we'd been doing them in some other spaces, sort of once every 2 months or so. And then after that, we also then moved into another venue, and yeah, it's a lot of work. And to be honest, I don't think I would ever do it again. Like, I would like to do some sort of label takeovers and, do a label night in a club. I think for me this would be alright. But actually working as a promoter inside a club,
It's a lot.
I don't think I could do that again. So.
Perfect. Yeah, it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, and it's so stressful. I prefer to play or just go and have fun.
Or both.
Or both.
If you could meet anyone right now, who would it be?
There's
Exhibit.
Fred again, who we were talking about earlier. Nah. Oh god, you've drawn a blank now, because I can think of quite a few. There's a podcast of someone I've been listening to for quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a hero of mine or anything. I just find his take on life very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
He's an American guy called David Bayer,
Mm-hmm.
and the type of work that he's involved in is very I think it falls under the umbrella of personal growth.
Mm-hmm.
Or therapy in some way as well sometimes. But his take on life is super interesting and sort of.
Do you have an example?
Not to go too deep with it, but I guess it's almost like mindset towards things, and how this really forms the basis of like coincidences that can happen in your life and actions you take, people you meet, striving to. I mean, we talked about it a bit earlier, like striving to be the best version of you.
Mm-hmm.
But I find his like methodology behind stuff really, really interesting. And yeah, he's one name that pops into my mind right now of who I'd like to meet and maybe pick his brain a little bit on certain things. Some of it to me can be a little bit, I guess, a little bit woo-woo, but some of it is also very, very interesting on just how the brain operates, actually, from quite a sort of neuroscientific point of view. So I'd actually say him. I've been listening to him a lot, listening to his podcast a lot recently. I'd like to sit down, have a coffee and a chat with him.
Do you know Dr. K?
No.
Check him out, you're gonna like him if you're into this kind of stuff. He's a very interesting guy. He also talks a lot about doom scrolling, porn, this kind of stuff.
Yeah. He also, David also talks about this sort of stuff as well, because he's very open with the fact that he used to be an alcoholic, a drug addict, and also a porn addict. And yeah, he talks a lot about that, actually. So what's his name? Dr. K?
Yeah. That's the name he goes on by on YouTube. You'll find him, no worries.
Is it on like podcasts, Spotify,
yeah,
stuff?
You will find he's on different platforms, different podcasts, etc. Like he's pretty well known.
Okay.
Super nice what he's saying. Not gonna spoil too much.
Yeah.
I learned a lot also about the dopamine things, etc.
Yeah.
Which is a big theme.
Huge thing. And what about in the music world? Who would you like to meet? Or who would be the one person in the music world? You can not even relate to techno, just in the music world.
Well, the answer is gonna be like, yeah, one day we're gonna have on the show. right now, and I really want to make it happen. There's a few actually, so I really hope it's gonna work. There's Channel Tress. He's a rapper, producer, dancer, performer from Los Angeles, California. Great guy. He's done collabs from Tyler the Creator to Honey Dijon.
Oh wow, okay.
Really, really diverse and really cool. And I can highly recommend his music, really. He's got a vibe. He's got a super sexy vibe when he dances and when he sings. He has a porn actor voice. It's very nice, honestly. And I've been listening to his music since Corona. I discovered him because he had a track, like a song with Tyler.
Oh yeah.
And called Skate Depot, if I'm not wrong, like on that album. It's an EP.
Okay.
You'd have to double check though. And he's playing in Berlin on Thursday, December 3. So if you're in town, I would highly recommend you to go.
Thursday, December when?
Third.
Yes.
So if you're in town, honestly, man.
Are you going?
Sorry?
Are you going?
I want to be fucking backstage if I'm going to do the interview.
Nice.
That's what I want to do. And the next one is Headaches. He's a drum and bass DJ and producer, and he's exploding
Okay.
He's exploding right now in the UK scene and like all over the world. Like he's just like on his fucking world tour now. And
nice.
That guy is like. We need to show you some mashups and like some videos about what he's doing and how he's doing it. Like it's super funny. Like it's politically very discussable. What he's playing and like how he's playing it, but like since it's music and it's just considered as art, it's funny. Like the way he does it.
Yeah.
He even made it to be a reference in Joe Rogan's podcast.
Really?
Where there is I don't remember what show it is, like what episode it is, but it's a girl, like a woman that asked Joe Rogan, like, hey, what do women don't understand about men? And he mentions him like Headaches Festival XYZ in 2015, and then there's a video of the drop, and you're like, holy fucking shit! But yeah, that's the spirit. And someone I absolutely want in the show as well is Lana Wachowski.
I don't know that name.
Matrix.
Ah, okay.
It used to be the Wachowski brothers. They both transitioned.
Okay.
And Lana goes very often to Beckham.
Ah, okay. Did you ever speak about doing it?
Not yet.
Okay.
We spoke, we introduced, really quickly talked to each other. Got introduced like at the bar and then on the dance floor. But as it is there
Yeah.
on a sunny evening.
The most productive time of the week.
Depends what you're considering as productive, but yes. That was it. So. The first contact was made, so let's see if it's doable.
Nice.
Let's make it happen now. That's the next challenge.
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
But I'm confident, and I think I really want to talk about the influence of Osgood on her.
Mm-hmm.
So before Berghain, and now what the influence her movies had on the people going to Berghain.
That would be a super interesting episode and talk to do.
So that's what I'm working towards too.
Oh, nice. Sounds really good.
So let's see. And then there's this other actor that I know personally, Game of Thrones.
You know what?
Watch it?
I actually haven't. I've only watched the first season. I would actually like to read the books.
Okay.
I'm finishing a series of books at the moment, and I was contemplating actually starting that series of books. It's 8 books or something.
Yeah, really good.
I was contemplating starting it because I watched the first season, and to be honest, I'm a little bit hit and miss with medieval TV. Sometimes I kind of really like it, and sometimes sometimes it's just not massively my thing.
I understand.
But I think as the books, I think I'd enjoy reading the books. But which person from?
I forgot the name of the number of the season he's into, the man with no face. Does it say you something? He also played in Stranger Things. Did you watch Stranger Things?
Yeah, I've seen that.
The last season?
I have, yes. Is that the one when they're in the Russian prison?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Russian guy, the Russian prison who helps this guy.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Super nice person, and I would love to have him.
Berlin based?
Yeah.
Okay.
When he's not in the US to shoot.
Yeah, of course.
So that's where I'm heading to.
Nice. Yeah, like I said at the beginning, that's really cool how you're going outside of.
I mean, we also met there, so there's a connection.
In Berghain.
Yeah.
Anyway, it all starts in that place.
Everything. I mean, the very big names, I don't know. I think it would be interesting to have Fred again, or Skrillex, or...
Skrillex would be very interesting.
To have a completely different point of view to everything we do now.
Yeah, I mean, from a producer's perspective, I would love to chat with Skrillex. I think as a producer, it's not my cup of tea, but in terms of the production level, it's absolutely fucking good.
Everything is good.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Disregard the fact that maybe you like it or not, but as a quality perspective, it's insane.
There's this one EP he has produced with Boys Noise. I forgot something anthem. Really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, he was a very big topic in my world of dubstep, because obviously when he came along, that was when it really exploded all over the world. He was in a metal band before as well.
I heard about it, yes.
The name was From First to Last.
Interesting.
More of a kind of emo, screamo kind of metal band.
Well, it makes sense.
Again, that wasn't massively my cup of tea when I was into metal, but I did know about them, and actually I did listen to them a bit, and not like a die-hard fan or anything, but I'd heard of them and heard their music and stuff. But he was in that before he did dubstep, which explains the sort of dubstep that he was doing at the time. Did you see any of the DJ sets that he did with Blawan or
No, but I only heard good things. That's why I think it's like super interesting.
Yeah, I heard some good stuff about that as well at what was it, Dry Moran Festival.
Yeah, legendary.
Yeah.
I think it's super important to do this kind of stuff nowadays, like to break the rules and the limits and like to do new stuff. And there's also, I don't know if you, Joy Orbison.
I love Joy Orbison.
She's done a track or like a single that got then remixed somehow. They call it Threaded.
Oh yeah.
with shit, what's his name again? Liliotti. It's a fucking bomb. It's a fucking bomb. Honestly,
everything that Joy Orbison's made in his career is just fucking quality, like super sick. Did you know a producer called Bodica?
Bodica?
Yeah. I
know the crew in London, but like not the producer.
No, there's a producer called Bodica. Joy Orbison made some stuff with him. This style that he was making with Bodica at the time was really popular. I was at every party I was going to in the UK, I was always hearing tracks by these two. The label was called Sunclo. It was actually a label ran by both of them. And it's this grey area of like techno meets UK bass music.
Oh.
But it is really, really good. I should fish those records out and play them at gigs, to be honest, sometimes, because they're super good.
Who's your biggest influence nowadays?
I have many, and I don't like to kind of say just one person, but definitely one person that had a huge influence on the sort of stuff I make is a collection of three people. We have Regis Surgeon and James Ruskin.
Excellent choice.
All very, very good in their own way. But it changes. I mean, at the moment, I'm getting very influenced by like actually through house music. I'm getting very influenced by that. Not that I'm not starting to make house music or even DJ house music, to be honest. Like I'm purely focused on techno, but yeah, I've seen so many good house DJs over the past year or so now. And not that it was like a new thing to me, but I've just seen so many good sets, and yeah, it's starting to take a bit of an influence on some of the stuff I'm making in the studio, actually. Like one set this year was by Ron Trent at Hyder, which was absolutely phenomenal. But yeah, these three that I mentioned, these are what I always go. These are my like roots of techno, what I always go back to. There was a track by Surgeon that I first heard, which got me completely hooked on techno. He was the first artist that I listened to after dubstep, because he actually had a bit of a close relationship with dubstep, actually. Yeah. The track First, it's called by him. And as soon as I heard that, I was like, what the fuck is this music? Because it's good.
It was a good sign.
Yeah. What about yourself?
It depends on the mood. Because when I'm enjoying, I'm putting either podcasts or like I have my playlist called Deep Work, which is a mix of dub techno, lo-fi, just kind of sound that have not many lyrics, but like that helps me to focus.
Yeah.
So I kind of like need something very minimal to be able to have a clear mind. This helps really a lot.
Yeah, that's why I listen to, as we're listening to now with this Apex Twin album. I love listening to stuff like this because it's, you don't have to focus on it too much, but then it really plays a part in your focus.
100%. Yeah, that's the thing. And, you can use that focus for the very best, and then that's how the good stuff comes out.
Yeah. Yeah, dub techno is also another area of techno that I love, though, to be honest. Especially the really deep side of it. That's like there's almost no drums to it.
Mm-hmm.
What do you prefer to shade, or do you prefer to do more line work?
It depends, because like line work is more satisfying. But with the shading, you're finishing the project.
Yeah, you're seeing the completion of it.
Yeah, you give the whole project a complete new dimension through the shadings. So I see every tattoo as a full-on process, So you store it, you have nothing, and then you proper design it and make it look good, and it takes time. And also, like for the person to get it, I mean, like in this case, like it's a single, like it's a one session project, so it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, all of mine have been in one session. They've never been spanned. Like I said, some of these took I think this one took about 45 minutes, which was absolutely insane.
Yeah. That's really fast.
So quick. I was shocked, actually. But yeah, I've never had when you do a project over a certain length of time.
It's like you build a relationship to the client through the tattoo, so
yeah.
It's important to let yourself enough time and to enjoy and to see where it brings you. There's one client from Paris that lived in Berlin for quite a while. Like he came every few months, and but you build that relationship, and you see also the evolution, and you got also many tattoos in a very short amount of time.
Yeah.
So also for him to see his body change, and to find that he found an artist that he really liked and whose work he really enjoyed.
How many did you do on the end?
4 in 4 months, something like this.
Okay, yeah.
On the end.
Like I said, I got a lot of these over the course of about 6 to 8 months. So I guess that's kind of a project, actually, because you end up going back every so often. Have you ever gone through a removal process from a tattoo?
No. And I honestly do not want to go through that, so this is also why I have a few tattoos where when I look at them, nowadays it's okay, but I'm there's a few tattoos where I don't talk to the people that did them to me anymore, so I want not to have that,
Yeah.
And that's also why I see it's a big responsibility for me as an artist to give also the very best experience possible, for the people just to look at the tattoo and to have a good memory out of it, in the session.
Yeah.
Because I think this plays a huge role.
No, 100%. 100%. Yeah, I've never gone through the removal of a tattoo, but I mean, I've heard that it's incredibly hard work and painful.
And the thing is, when we tattoo you, we inject you color pigments in the derm, which is the second layer of the skin.
Yeah.
To remove it, you need to make these pigments explode with a laser. And since it's the second layer of the skin, it's very painful. It's a burn, you burn it, and burn the skin. This is why you do have some, what's the English word? When you have a bubble with water inside, and you get burned to the 2nd degree.
Oh, yeah.
What's the word?
Good question, I don't know. I know what you mean, but I don't know the right term for it. Is it a 3rd degree burn?
That also happens, like from the second degree.
No, it's a blister.
A blister,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So then you get a blister.
Oh, yeah, no, it's fucked up. I've asked myself the question before, like, would you go into mainstream music if, like, the opportunity was there? And, you know, most of the time I say no, but I don't. Part of me would like, because you know, like, not. I don't think I'd enjoy it, if I'm honest. But it would be really interesting to see that side of like what goes on, what it's like, what you can and can't do. I don't think it would be very nice, to be honest, a lot of the time. But you know, part of me like really wonders like what is that world like? It must be so. Sometimes you're so far from reality, you know. And sometimes it can be so hard, like, you know, like some artists got absolutely destroyed by it to the point where they actually die, you know. And it's.
Avicii?
Yeah, but you know, like Amy Winehouse and stuff like this, people like that, and that's horrific. But yeah, Avicii's a good one. Did you watch the documentary?
I did. Terrible story.
Horrible, yeah.
And it's also it's super important to have the right people around you.
Definitely. You know, humans are not products and not. Yeah, I mean, the topic of mental health with Avicii was just destroying.
Humans are not products, but the music are, and like since the art became one, and like since humans product this, we're stuck to it. So you gotta produce.
Yeah.
Because if not, you're missing the opportunity.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I listened to a podcast last year, at the end of the year, from Steve Aoki.
Oh yeah.
And he was saying like his life is literally just like touring and music, and he loves it. But like he said also like that, for example, like he never cooks. He doesn't like he sucks at cooking, and like he doesn't know how to do it because like he's literally ordering food every day, and that's the life he's having. But like he's fully enjoying it. But that also means like that he got 300 shows a year.
Wow.
With the traveling and this kind of stuff. After how many years? I mean, I first started listening to his music 2007. No, 2007, 2009, when this whole Bloody Beetroots thing was big, electro clash, electro pop, etc. When he has this one track, Warp, I don't remember the rest.
I'm not sure on the names. But
yeah, that's how it really started and exploded for him. I mean, like it's also really interesting to listen to these kind of guys because they really do have a complete different point of view about the scene because like they're literally living in another dimension.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got a friend who also, I think, like, he's not a DJ, but his job is so demanding that he also never cooks. Like, you're ordering food like 2-3 times a day. And I'm like, I kind of like, because I enjoy cooking, I'm like, damn. Like,
But if it's healthy, why not? But like most of the times it's not, you know.
I mean, okay, yeah. The health part comes into it. It's also like, would I like to actually have a job that's that demanding? You know.
Yeah, it's another question for sure.
Okay, yeah, sure. Like I love what I do, but we spoke about earlier about how important it is to have a vacation and time off, etc., etc. It's also not just about that, it's also about having time in your day-to-day where you have like downtime. yeah, health also comes into it for sure, because
Plus, it's super expensive.
yeah,
To order food nowadays, it's fucked. The
man,
other day, I paid $40 for 2 burgers and 2 fries. 40 euros.
yeah, that's insane. I mean, even when you go out to a restaurant these days, you know, even in Berlin, where you used to be able to go out with like $20 and, you know, you'd have a starter, you'd have a main, you'd have a drink, maybe 2 drinks. Now,
No, these times are over.
like even, yeah, like last night, you know, like it was about, I think 65, 70 euros for 2 people, which is, you know, if you're in a good restaurant, it's all right. But that was, you know, not drinking, you know, I just had 1 alcohol-free beer and some water.
Mm-hmm.
And we shared a starter and a main each, yeah. And you know, this wasn't in some like upmarket place. This was in like it was a decent place, but it's not when you go somewhere like really, really nice. I miss my €5 Thai curries, to be honest, in Berlin.
We all do.
I really
We all
miss
do.
them. I do miss them. They've gone up to €10 now. You've been anywhere good for food recently, though? Yeah.
I'm not sure. The thing is, like, what do we qualify as good nowadays?
Well, somewhere you really enjoyed, let's say.
Because if we do understand, good can be taste good or it can be healthy. Because the unhealthy stuff that I really like, burgers. That's really Burger Ant and Burgermeister.
Burgermeister's the one.
Burgermeister
I love it.
every day.
Every day.
Not every day, but like, especially when you had a long week, Friday evening, you get that with friends.
Oh man,
Whatever.
I love Burgermeister. And you know what's even better about Burgermeister is that on my walk home from Bergheim, I walk straight past a Burgermeister. And I'm honestly under the impression that getting a burger on your way home after a club
Makes it even better.
makes it, one, it makes it better, but 2, I wake up better.
I mean, you get all those calories in and like you recharge all the energy you've spent.
Yeah.
Especially when you take the double patty Fleischmeister or Meister à la Klassen combo with fries and extra mayo.
Cheese fries, extra mayo,
Okay,
ketchup.
cheese fries, no, but I come with fries.
Oh man, you're missing a trick with the cheese fries. Because you get it in the pot, and then what you can do is dip the burger in the cheese.
But I'm
And then you've
Swiss,
got-
I'm not a fan of this kind of cheese.
Okay.
There's a bit of, yeah, I get the kink, but that's not mine.
So talking about Swiss cheese, I did have yesterday at Boxy Market. There's a Swiss cheese stall, and me and Ariel did pop in and had a Swiss raclette.
Yeah, it's a Swiss Germans there, directly next to the corner.
Yeah.
How much did you pay for that?
I think it was €7.
Fuck them.
Is this too much?
Yes.
Is this too much?
Yes.
I assumed it probably was.
No offense, guys, seriously, but yeah, it's it's just the sad reality of the market, like the prices nowadays.
How much would you? I mean, in
This
Switzerland,
is Swiss price.
This is Swiss price.
We live in fucking Berlin, so yes, I get it. It's a market, it's boxy, it's touristic, etc. But yeah, I mean, it's the same for the stuff from the Balkans. It's even worse.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Big fan of that food, and like when you see how expensive it is. No, but at the end, like I get it. Like there is cover, like there is charge. How to say big cost to cover all that kind of stuff.
I mean, I think renting a place on that market is actually pretty expensive.
Yeah. So they gotta.
And also just in general.
It's their life, so they gotta like make money of it.
Yeah.
I get it. No, it's just like.
But I mean, you know, the city itself.
Did you enjoy it?
I did enjoy it. I loved it.
Good.
It was
That's
great.
what it's
It was
about.
what I needed on a Saturday afternoon.
That's what it's about.
I was actually having a conversation about the prices of juices. Like, it's kind of incredible how much you can pay for a juice. Not even just in Berlin, just in general. Like, you can pay like up to 10 euros for like a fresh juice. If you just, this is where I get a bit like angry. I'm like, fuck man, like I could just go to the shop, buy some celery, some oranges, some apples,
And do it yourself.
do it myself in a juicer that I bought for like, and I've had for years, and just do it myself. But these guys make a killing for these juices.
I do it every day. It's also like going back to what we talked about before about constantly improving yourself and becoming the best version of yourself. Just like cooking my own meals and eating healthy and cooking healthy and all this kind of stuff under the week, because I can do weekends. Fuck that.
I do a lot of this throughout the week. I eat a lot of like legumes, like lentils and chickpeas and beans and stuff like this throughout the week, and it makes a huge difference on your brain power.
Yeah, sleep well, eat well, that makes a difference. Then you just get better at being yourself and like your art and your music and whatever. And that's what it's about, man. Honestly, like, I think one of the biggest motivation is like to become the very best version of myself. And everything is better after that. Your life, your relationships, how you feel, the vibe you do have.
Yeah, I mean, it all factors into that. What's your like go-to healthy meal during the week? I'm interested now.
Oh,
You've caught my attention.
depends. Yeah, I have a few. Of course, we live in Berlin, and like this whole vegetarian vegan mindset is
Are
can
you?
go against.
You're not veggie or vegan, right?
I had my time during Corona where I experimented a lot. That was great. But like with all the sports I'm doing, I need my protein intake, and like to have my 150 or like 200 grams of lentils every day just like fucks up my belly, and like I'm fighting the whole time.
You know what? It used to with me, but then I got used to eating it so often that now it's kind of alright.
I didn't. Honestly, like still when I eat that, like my stomach's just like completely blown. So I do a good mix between eggs, chicken, and chickpeas, and
Chicken is very good.
kidney beans.
Beans also.
But like something I really enjoy these days is these Asian noodles, homemade with this Asian chicken, like homemade Asian food, literally.
Nice.
This or something that's very efficient, protein intake, and like don't need to eat it every day because like in that case it's not very healthy. There's like 7 eggs.
7 eggs.
Yeah, 7 eggs, and you have
In one go.
Omelets, tomatoes, champignons?
Mushrooms.
Mushrooms, thank you.
With 7 eggs?
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's something I really enjoy.
I mean, that's going to get you a whole day of protein in one go.
You have to.
I usually make an omelette with 2 or 3.
I did as well. Then I talk to, again, it depends on who you're talking to. Then if you talk to the big guys you want to not compete with, but like I'm training with a few guys at CrossFit that are really, really good.
I do. This is like a personal trainer kind of thing.
No. Just like one of them used to like is a trainer, or like was a trainer, and like, he just knows his stuff. And it is a kind of mentor.
Okay.
Kind of. I just ask him like, hey, what do you eat? And also feel the difference since then.
Okay. This is, this is something I would really like to do, because I don't go to the gym, but I do cycle a lot. I'm running now every other day, I probably need to do some weights training, but I would like to speak to a nutritionist or something at some point, or like a trainer, and just be like, look, how do I get the best out of food to help my body alongside exercise, because I've never done something like that. And they really both go hand in hand,
I think it's like the food you put in your body is like, it's like the gas you put in your, what do you say, like
your car.
The car, yes, exactly. So if you want it to work, depending on what you're doing, etc. Like when you do heavy weight, like when you lift heavy weights and this kind of stuff, if you eat like shit or like just salad, you're gonna be tired all the time.
Yeah, totally.
And that's a sad reality. Like I tried and I can hurt myself and this kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's why you have to be careful if you're if you're following a vegan diet. You have to really be careful with that, because you can get deficiencies quite quickly.
I mean, there is this one documentary on Netflix called The Game Changers,
Okay.
which follows vegan athletes on a professional level. That's when we tried to be vegan and vegetarian.
Okay.
Actually, didn't really work out. I mean, it's nice because like you learn how to cook differently.
Actually, the cooking side of it I think is very interesting.
100%.
Also, I mean, I don't know what's better, like, let's say, cheaper meat products versus or processed meat products versus the vegan processed products. I don't know which one's actually better, or if there isn't a better one, they're just both bad.
Don't go cheap.
Yeah, that is definitely, I think, the best advice you could give to anyone. But you can, but to be honest, because I cook at home, I still do probably cook quite a lot of vegan food. I'm not vegan. I would say I'm mostly vegetarian, apart from usually when I go on holiday and I eat fish. Basically, as long as I'm somewhere near the sea, I eat fresh fish, basically. But yeah, the cooking side of it, you can easily recreate chicken with vegan fake chicken products, or you can do it with mushrooms, for example.
Yeah, I think that when you check what's in this processed food, it's full of shit.
Yeah. Well, that does taste good.
Sorry?
Have you had the? I said it does. Some of it does taste good. Have you had the vegan cordon bleu?
Yeah, no, it tastes
by the German brand, the green German brand.
There's a few ones. There's Mühlen something.
Yeah. This brand. There's a
vegan butcher also.
I'm a little vegan butcher.
Yeah. It's kind of good.
Where's that? Where's him?
It's a brand.
Oh, it's a brand.
It's a brand you
Okay.
find at Rewe.
Okay.
But yeah, it's.
I know it's not healthy. It's not good, but bit of a sucker for those cordon bleus.
And on these words, my friend, we are done.
Nice.
Thank you for this amazing session.
Thank you, man. Really, thank you.
It's fucking amazing.
It does look cool. Yeah, I'm so happy we did it.